After months of bipartisan negotiations and tense political squabbling, President Joe Biden has signed into law one of the largest infrastructure packages in American history, raising $1.2 trillion in funds, including $550 billion in new investments for the country's bridges, airports, waterways, public transit, and more. Here is what you need to know about where the enormous new spending will go. Welcome to Just Tech. In today's video, we will go through the $1.2 trillion plan to rebuild America. Before getting into the video though, please share and subscribe to our channel. Also, tap on that bell icon for more notifications whenever we upload a new video. Now let's get to the topic at hand. On November 15th of 2021, President Biden signed the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act into law, increasing American competitiveness and enhancing everyone's quality of life. This new law will help link 14 million Americans to broadband, provide clean drinking water for 10 million people, update our energy grid, and boost our economy. It is the single largest bridge investment since the interstate highway system was created. In addition, it's the largest investment ever made in the history of the United States in innovation, efficiency, and resilience to combat climate change. President Joe Biden unveiled a $1.2 trillion proposal to revamp and update the nation's infrastructure, calling it a transformational undertaking that could produce the most resilient, innovative economy in the world. In a speech on the outside of Pittsburgh, Vice President Biden declared, "It's not a plan that tinkers around the edges. It's an investment that America will only make once in a generation." According to the White House officials, the proposal's combination of spending and tax credits would result in 20,000 miles of rebuilt roads, repairs to the 10 most economically significant bridges in the nation, the removal of lead pipes from the country's water supplies, and a long list of other projects intended to generate millions of jobs in the short term and boost American competitiveness in a long time. In addition, they said that the proposal would speed up the transition to new, cleaner energy sources, aid in advancing racial equality in the workplace, and speed up the fight against climate change. Mr. Biden said the provisions would reduce commute times and increase pay, internet access, and drinking water. The expenses would be compensated by higher corporate tax receipts over 15 years, notably from multinational corporations that generate a report earnings abroad. The president justified these price hikes to encourage businesses to expand their operations and grow their production in the country. Republicans have already expressed doubt or outright opposition, so Mr. Biden made an appeal to both parties in Congress for support, claiming that the program would be unlike anything we've seen or done since we built the interstate highway system and the space race decades ago, and that it would be the largest American jobs investment since World War II. The president claimed that the tax increase would more than offset the spending in the plan over 15 years, which would eventually result in a decrease in the budget deficit. The spending would occur over 8 years. Unlike the economic stimulus bill signed by President Obama in 2009, when Mr. Biden was vice president, officials won't always give the green light to projects deemed shovel-ready and may boost GDP immediately. However, even when stretched out over the years, the size of the proposal highlights how thoroughly Mr. Biden has embraced the chance to use federal spending to confront enduring social and economic concerns to a degree not seen in 50 years. The idea is the first step in the two-part rollout of the president's ambitious plan to revamp the economy and reinvent American capitalism, which could cost up to $4 trillion over the next 10 years. The American Jobs Plan is the moniker given to it by Mr. Biden's administration, reflecting the name of the $1.9 trillion pandemic relief plan that Mr. Biden signed into law this month, the American Rescue Plan. The American Rescue Plan will be the new name of the upcoming phase, which Mr. Biden indicated would start in a few weeks and that he would try to pay for it in part by raising taxes on the wealthy. The right quickly opposed the proposal that Mr. Biden unveiled on Wednesday due to its magnitude and reliance on the higher corporation taxes, even though investments in roads, bridges, and other physical enhancements on the country's economic roots has long had a bipartisan appeal. Before we dig into the rest of the video, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting content like this, and also hit that bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. Thank you. Now, let's get back onto the topic. Republicans and business organizations criticize these tax measures as being unworkable in a bipartisan setting. While defending his plan to urge businesses to pay higher taxes, Mr. Biden acknowledged the criticism. In addition, he declared that he would keep trying to get the Republicans to accept his program. he claimed to have already spoken with Republican leader in the Senate, Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, about the proposed legislation. He invited other Republicans to the White House as Congress began to craft specific legislation based on his idea. A wide range of physical infrastructure projects, including housing, broadband, transportation, and the electric grid, as well as initiatives to jumpstart sophisticated manufacturing, are all covered by the plan's investment. Other sectors policymakers view as crucial to the United States' expanding economic struggle with China are also included. In addition, it contains funding for programs that support labor unions and organizations that offer in-home care for the elderly and disabled Americans, as well as the funding to raise the pay for the individuals who deliver that care. It also includes funding for the training of millions of workers. The cost of several of the plan's components would have filled up big, ambitious bills under the previous administrations. They include $180 billion for R&D, $115 billion for highways and bridges, $85 billion for public transportation, and $80 billion for Amtrak and freight rail. Ports and airports will receive $42 billion, broadband will receive $100 billion, and water infrastructure will receive $111 billion. Along with the 10 most economically significant bridges that require repair, the initiative aims to fix 10,000 lesser significant bridges nationwide. 20% of the nation's fleet of yellow school buses will be electrified. A 4-year plan to replenish the nation's strategic national stockpile of pharmaceuticals, including vaccines, in readiness for upcoming pandemics is also included in the $300 billion strategy to boost modern manufacturing. The language used by officials to describe these objectives frequently refers to bridging radical and economic gaps, some of which are the outcome of prior federal spending initiatives, such as the construction of interstate highways that divide communities of color, or air pollution that affects Black and Hispanic neighborhoods close to ports and power plants. Officials portrayed the $400 billion spent on in-home care as a remedy for the industry's underpaid and undervalued workers, predominantly women of color. The plan references President Biden's commitment to combating climate change. Roads, bridges, and airports will become more durable to withstand the consequences of more intense storms, floods, and fires from a warmer world. Spending on R&D might contribute to innovations of cutting-edge clean technology, and plans to weatherwise and upgrade millions of buildings would increase their energy efficiency. The two biggest American emitters of the greenhouse gases that warm the Earth, vehicles and electric power plants, are the focus of the president's attention on climate change. Although analysts claim that figure is only a small portion of what's required to make electric vehicles a common choice, those funds would also build roughly 500,000 electric vehicle charging points. To make the electrical grid more dependable and resistant to blackouts like those recently wreaked havoc in Texas, Mr. Biden's plan calls for investing $100 billion in programs. It can also increase the number of transmission lines connecting large towns with wind and solar power facilities. The proposal calls for $35 billion in research and development programs for cutting-edge, innovative technologies, and an extra $46 billion in federal procurement programs for government agencies to purchase fleets of electric vehicles. It also urges infrastructure and communities to better prepare for climate change's worsening effects. However, the administration still needs to release many specifics on how it plans to do so. But that'll be all for today. If you like this video, then please give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel Just Tech, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. Feel free to express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below, but until next time, goodbye.